Hey guys, Siin here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, we're going to be having a trading guide. And I know it's been a while since we've had a trading guide, so here it is. I know a lot of you guys have been requesting it, so yeah, this is going to be that video. Now today's video, we're actually going to be focusing on bigger traders. And before we actually get too far into the video, I do want to say I officially am part of the Value Council at Rolimons, and I help kind of with values and whatnot, as well as I have some really cool items that I've always wanted. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. I'm officially on the staff team. So there's my little guy right there. Really happy to be a part of the staff team. Now, with that out of the way, let's actually get into the main parts of this video. And so this video is going to be split into three parts. 100k plus traders, 500k plus traders, and 1 million plus traders. And so the description is going to be full of a bunch of essential links that I'm going to put in there. And so you can click on like the part in the description that you want to get like info on. So there's like an 100k plus section, 500k plus section. So just click on the timestamp below. It'll just take you there in case you just want to cut all the stuff I'm talking about, which is still kind of important, but hey, do as you please. Now, yeah, lots changed since my last training guide. So this is going to be the most recent, most helpful version. So if you really want some info, please watch this video because I'm here to help you guys. Now, with that out of the way, let's actually hop into it. Now, I made a subsection for people that don't have over 100k, and I just want to say this. Keep trading small items. Maybe one day you'll get to 100k, and I don't have a trading guide right now for small traders because the economy actually just switched. Items like legit just became proof-based, and I can't really give you an accurate description of what they get. It's just kind of hard to tell. Sometimes it's lowballing, sometimes it's doing good. I just can't tell right now. So I'm focusing most of my focus on bigger items, and some of these tips that I give for bigger traders may apply to you. So, you know, if you want to watch this video, you can get some stuff out of it too. And also, don't really ask me for trading help for small trades just because I will not give you a definite answer because I don't really trade with smalls anymore. If you look at my graph, I really trade with big items, you guys. I don't really focus on small items, and I do apologize, but that's kind of just how I trade. So, with that all out of the way, we're actually going to get into the first part of this, which is for advanced traders. Now, this is for traders that have over 100k, and if you're watching this part, I'm going to assume from here on out you have 100k, and even if you don't, just act like you do, okay? You're going to be fine. Now, to know what you're going to do from here, I want you guys to evaluate your inventory. Now, I'm going to give off a couple descriptions, or a couple categories, and I want you to place yourself in there because I will offer tips specifically for that category. Now, let's actually talk about the categories. Now, the first one is having a bunch of downgraded demand, and to give an example of this, actually, we can just take my friend's inventory, kind of. So if we focus on like the smaller part of his inventory, like here, imagine if this was someone's inventory, you have downgraded demand. Now, maybe not as much and maybe not as little, but downgraded demand is basically your small items and just having a lot of them. Like, as you can see, this inventory is not very clean, but that's okay. You can always clean your inventory up. We'll talk about what to do once you're there. The next group that I like to place people in is if you have a rare or not. Like, if you have a rare item or two, and just sitting on it. And a perfect example of this guy, or of a guy like this, is Slimeborg 20. He has just Ice Helm, which once you have this item, I will give tips on what to do with it. The next category is having upgraded demand. These are like having 100k plus items, and a couple of these items are going to be like, let me just pull up a list. 1 second, you guys. It's going to be like Blizzard Beast Mode, A Cotton, G Cotton, Form, a bunch of this, like this mid-tier stuff, or like you're almost getting to mid-tier is what I call it. I just call it like small upgraded demand. With these items, I have specific tips for those as well. And last but not least, for the 100k plus category, I have mid-sized demand. Now these items are usually like your Valks and your CFs and stuff like that. For these items, I have very specific tips for these items. So we're going to get all into it. The first group that we're actually going to be touching on is tons of demand. And so, by the way, these are just tips, okay? These aren't like rules to live your life by. I'm just some random guy on the internet trying to help you out with trading. And so not all my tips are going to be important to you, and you may not use them all. Use whichever ones you want, you guys. But here goes nothing. Let's talk about it. So once you have, or if you have downgraded demand, excuse me, you're going to want to shoot for 4v1 upgrades. And what I mean by this is you're going to want to upgrade with 4 items. Now my inventory is a horrible example of this, but you're going to want to upgrade with 4 items instead of using 2 items. Now I can't really model it here, but I do want to say if you're upgrading or trading 4 items or trying to upgrade into a bigger item, if you're trading for a big item, try to get 4 items, okay? That's all I'm trying to say. Sorry if I'm throwing anyone off with my wording. Try to upgrade into an item with 4 items at a time, and try to not to do 2v1s or 3v1s just because you may be taking an L on those. I would just always recommend 4v1 upgrading. And when you have an inventory with downgraded demand, you're going to want to focus on upgrades only. And an example of this, I just closed out my page. I can show you guys, like when I was focusing on upgrades, just look at this graph. This is my collectibles. I went from 29 to having like 7 in just a couple days, which is nuts. I couldn't believe I did it. But yeah, when you focus on upgrading, it kind of happens. You don't even think about it, and you're just getting bigger items, and your inventory starts to shape itself, and there we go. It kind of shaped itself there. So that's that. If you have an like an overpowered item or like a really good item, I would recommend downgrading it and then kind of going from there. But just note, don't have too much items, and try not to downgrade for 4v1s. Try to shoot for like, I personally say 2v1s, but those are kind of hard to get. 2v1s, 3v1s, those are all great. Yeah, keep it in mind. Just focus on what you're downgrading for, and items really matter, and we're gonna get into that later on. But yeah, just focus on upgrades specifically, and you're gonna be fine. Now the next category is having a rare or 2, and let's go back to the guy with the ice helm. So you're gonna need to downgrade this 100%, especially if it's your only item. Almost always, never upgrade with a rare item. You're gonna want to always downgrade your rare items because most of the time when you're upgrading, people that own demand don't really care for rare items. They're not gonna really care what your item gets. They're still gonna ask for a lot, so you may as well just downgrade it and then kind of go from there. That's kind of what I recommend. So yeah, just kind of keep that in mind. The next thing is check the proofs, know what the item gets. In case like for Ice Helm, compare it with the recent proofs. I would say try to shoot for a little bit more than some of the good recent proofs. Be reasonable, please. Usually rare item owners are not reasonable, and they ask for way too much. And guys, this is just, nobody wants to trade for an item when you're asking for too much. Like for example, I don't mean to pick on my friend, but this guy right here, he gave a lot for Windforce, and he wants 90k on it. Now, it's really unlikely that he's ever going to get 90k on it, unless like someone just massively fail trades. But just know, you guys, if you fail trade, for example, like my friend, for a rare, just know that if it happens, it happens, okay? It's okay. We've all done it. I myself have done it. I've done it plenty of times, especially when I was smaller. But once you fail traded for a rare, just take a good offer and kind of move on. Compare it with the proofs, of course. Sorry, I just stuttered there. I really emphasize comparing it with the proofs for all items, really, because proofs really show you what an item gets. And if you take too little, you're just taking an L because you're not going to be able to even afford the item once you trade it off. Now, again, like what I was saying earlier, just take a good offer once you fail trade. An example of this guy named Ponty. Don't do what he's doing. Don't mean to pick on this guy again, but he tends to fail trade on items, and he never makes it back because once he gets profit, he just fail trades for another one. Don't be like this. If your graph is like this, not really a good sign. Now, if I was him, I would probably downgrade this rare and maybe the hat bot and kind of go from there. He could do great if he sticks to like demand trading or just not fail trading for rare. So moving on to the next section. This is going to be upgraded demand, like the ones near 100k. And so in this range, if you have like beast mode or like auto king of the night, and this is kind of your range. Now, for this, you're probably going to need to downgrade your item, and for this, I would say please be really cautious of what you downgrade your item into. I see too many people taking low amounts, and a good example of this would be like, let me see if I can find a good example. Like this offer right here, this is a complete L, and I know like super fly caps are cool, but just don't do it. That's too little. I can't find that good of an example. Like maybe this. Actually, no. I really can't right now, just because ads are so random. Maybe like this is probably as bad as you could take. Obviously, you could lowball it, but that'd be horrible. Just don't take offers like this. Try to shoot for like, I personally say try to get 7 or 5K on it. 5K is probably doable. I would honestly try 7, but that may be asking for a lot. You need to find the right people when it comes to those items. Just don't fail trade it too. Don't take 3K in a 4v1. You're literally fail trading if you do that. Now, the next section we're going to move on to is mid-size demand. And so this is like if you have Valks and stuff like that. And thing is, you're probably going to have to downgrade your item if you have, or if you fall into this category. Like if you have only a Valk, you're going to need to trade it off. And I'm saying this right now. If you trade it off, by the time you get it back, you're probably going to have more profit. And you're probably going to make profit. Rather than holding it for 2 months and making like 20K. It's not worth it, you guys. I'm just saying. I've seen too many people hold on items and they don't really make profit. So I would say trade it off for a huge overpay and kind of work your way from there. As of the recording of this video, we're in an inflation season for like mid-sized items like Valk. So I would say don't take a low offer on this stuff. Try to shoot for as high as you can, but don't be crazy. Like don't ask for 40K on Valk because you're probably weird if you do that. I'm just kidding. But like seriously, this isn't a bad trade. Like you can kind of see like what's a good and a bad trade. This isn't that bad, but I don't know. It's up to whoever wants to take it. That was really random. I do apologize. I'm just looking at trade ads. Yeah, so it's kind of inflation season for items like that. I would just again be really hesitant. Like don't take this. This is 16K for Valk. I'm sure you could probably get more. At least try to crack 20, you guys. The stuff isn't actually that bad right now. And so, another thing. Don't hold on to your item too long because I've seen people just hold on items for insanely long periods of time. And by the time you're going to want to trade it off, your item has lost all hype and you're going to have to take a low amount. Like Frozen Horns, for example. This item died hard. And this item used to get like 60K. But now I've seen it go for 10K a couple times, and that's just kind of sad. Like right now, it's being offered for 5, and this isn't that good for this side. But hey, I mean, 5K is 5K. It's not as good as it once was, and that's if you held on to this item for so long, now on trade off, you're not going to get anything near what you could have. Now, we're gonna move on to the next section: quality of trades. Now, what I mean by this is like the quality of an item specifically in a trade. And I don't think people notice this a lot. They just really pay attention to how big the overpay is. And I'm going to throw an example here. If you get sent 5K lowball on Scotland with Waynwood Antlers, you need to factor in how much you could downgrade the antlers for. And this may be an L. And I personally say it is an L. Unless you downgrade Waynwood Antlers for a lot. It really depends on the economy as well. Like, is demand doing well? Is Waynwood Antlers doing well? Like, they don't get too many offers, but their offers are really gosh darn good. Like, I own this thing, and I got sent, like, 10K with JJ, and I missed it. It was kind of sad. You just got to find the right people again. These items require, like, specific people that want them. So that's that. Just know, like, if you were to take the 5K lowball on Scotland with Waynwood Antlers, you would have to downgrade the Waynwood Antlers, right? You would have to get at least a little bit of profit. But by the time you do that, you may make a little bit of profit by downgrading them, but you're going to have like 7 items as compared to like Scotland if you downgraded it for 15. I don't even know if you can get 15 or 20 on it right now. But if you were to, I feel like that would be a little bit better. And you can't really downgrade Waynwood Antlers too easily. It's really up to you guys. You just got to find the right people and go from there. Now, yeah, I kind of mentioned this earlier, but just try to know how much items you're going to be downgrading into. Again, like going back to that 5K lowball, you would have a lot of items by the time you downgrade all that. And that kind of sucks because right now upgrade fees are a lot. And what I mean by that is if you're trying to upgrade into items, it's really expensive right now. So I would just stay away from that. It's not really the path I would go down. I would just try to get a huge overpay off Scotland in like a 3v1 if possible. So yeah, that 5K lowball isn't that good, but I'm sure you can make profit on it somehow. You can make profit off taking like somewhat fair trades. That trade's kind of mid. Now moving on to the next section, I want to say this: be careful when you're asking for help, you guys. always ask yourself the following: is the person I'm asking knowledgeable? Are they a legit trader? And are they smart? I see a lot of people asking trading lounge and Rolimons, and sometimes you're literally going to get scammed or sharked. And I don't always recommend doing this, but sometimes ask, but just know who's giving you feedback. Most of the people in Trading Lounge have like only legit Fedora. They don't really know that much. Just be careful. They can't give you feedback on a trade with 300k value because they don't know what those items get. And yeah, as you trade, you're gonna learn like reputable names of people that you can ask for help. This is just like an over time thing, and it really depends on if you ask for help or not. I've made friends along the way, and people I know that I can lean on for help. But usually, I don't really lean on people for help. I just check value requests and look for proofs. And I may be able to show you guys how to do that, but I feel like it's pretty self-explanatory. You just use the Discord lookup tool and kind of go from there. Next section, we're going to be talking about don't get scammed. And this is really stupid. I hate having to talk about this. But don't click any links online. Really self-explanatory. Don't screen share yourself signing into your Roblox account if someone DMs you saying you're banned from a server. Because I know I phrased that really weird. So basically, lots of people have been getting messages saying, oh, you're banned from a certain group. And sometimes it's a group they've never heard of. And most of the time it is. And they ask you to screen share yourself signing in. And it's so stupid how people fall for this. I can't believe people fall for this. It's more like inactive people that don't really know what's going on. But I just want to say that don't fall for this dumb stuff, you guys. It's so easy to just avoid. And also, check proofs when you're trading off items. Just don't take too low on an item, and don't give too much on an item. I see too many people trying to shark, especially rare items, and it's like, what are you doing? Don't give that much for a rare item. Compared to the proofs, if the most recent proof is 20k, it probably gets around there. Just really depends on the item. That doesn't go for all items, but hey, just check the proofs, okay? I'm going to say that like 500 gajillion times. Now, moving on to the 500k or more section, congrats if you made it here. You're a decent trader. Thing is, trading gets kind of boring once you're up here, and the repetition is certainly here, and it only gets worse the richer you guys get. Just saying, trading doesn't get more entertaining, unless you're trading for cool items, which that's a different story. Now, thing is, when you have 500k or more, you're going to try to shoot for bigger items, and you could maybe try to get items you've dreamed of, but I would personally just recommend trading for higher and higher items. Don't really quit here. There's definitely a lot of more room to grow. And you need to start paying more attention to items that are like poisonous or like compromised. And these are the items you don't really want to be trading for. Like for me, I've already checked like the cereals on my items. These are all clean. Like this guy's held it for over a month, and so it's clean to trade for. It's fine. You're going to be safe. But there's some items like from some really sussy people. I mean, like, I hate to use that among us. Like, I mean, but just look at this. Like, yeah, I mean, chances are if you're trading with someone like this, it's probably not clean. Probably not clean. Just saying. Just be on the lookout for that, okay? And now, we've kind of gone over that part. The next thing I do want to talk about for when you have 500k, check proofs. Bigger items really fluctuate, like clockwork headphones, for example. It's kind of hard to tell what they get right now. They're a little dead, I will not lie. Oh, man, I mean, look at this. Oh, wow. I mean, don't trade for this, you guys. Wow. That's huge. That is huge. Definitely people are going to plug from this. I already know. You just know, okay? Pluggers are pluggers. They're always going to want that profit. Now, the next thing I'm going to say is I would try to look at recent owners of items and kind of look what they gave. Like, this worked really well for me with Clockwork Shades. Just kind of tell, like, I mean, it's kind of hard, especially if you pick a person like this, that they're so rich you can't really tell what they're kind of given for what. I would focus on, like, smaller traders. Like, if Clockwork Shades is their only item, kind of look from there. That kind of helps you see what they gave for it. And then you can maybe see, like, oh, am I giving too much? Am I giving too little? And yeah, that's kind of what I would shoot for. This guy's a bad example because I can't. I mean, did he really give equal? I mean, like, oh, wow. He got it for equal with Dark Horns of Pawnage. That's crazy. But yeah, I mean, there's an example right there. That's not that bad because the horns get like 100k sometimes. So it's iffy. I would rather have the shades than that. So, yeah, and the last thing for this section kind of I would say is try to make some friends, you guys. Trading is really boring when you're alone, but once you make friends that trade as well, you could maybe form like a group chat or something, or just have friends to play with. They help you keep in the loop or stay in the loop of like what items get, as well as you can have people to play with and stuff like that. I made friends along the way from just using the Rolimons server and just being in other trading servers. But hey, do what you like, make some friends. It's always nice. And again, there's not too much to say in this section. It's kind of like the 100K section, but I would say try not to downgrade too much. I see a lot of people getting hard stuck in this section, like from 500K to 1 mil. And that's because they downgrade too much, and then you're kind of stuck, and you're like, oh, what do I do? Then you don't really know what to do once you have too many items. I would just try upgrading. I always like to upgrade. I like to have clean items. And for me, I personally recommend at any point in time never have more than 30 items. Like my friend Free Diver, he's been doing a great job at upgrading. He's barely over, but man, this guy had so many items, and he managed to bring them all down. Really proud of him. And he's kept his value. He doesn't trade too often, but hey, guys, I'm just throwing it out there, okay? Just gotta focus on upgrades. Don't downgrade too much. I say that a lot. It'll get just as repetitive as proofs, I promise. And last but not least, we're gonna be talking about 1 mil or more. Now, this is for traders again that have 1 mil or more, and there's not too many traders here, so very nice if you made it this far. Hold on, let me pull something up really quick. If we go to the groups, you can kind of make out who... Ooh, we just hit 800K members on my group. That's crazy. I appreciate it, you guys. If we go to, like, trade, like the official trade group, this, again, I would recommend joining this group just because you can also ask for trades, which they aren't the best trades they get from here. But you can kind of see, like, who has how much. I'm currently at the trade legend level, which isn't the best, but it's actually pretty high up there. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. You can see like millionaire traders, and it's really based on rap, so it just ranks you, and I think it's cool. It's like a placement for you, and this can kind of help you find trades and whatnot. I know that was really random. Kind of lost what I was going to say. Oh yeah. There's like not too many people that have 1 million. Like 2,000. I mean, there's obviously more people the more you go. If you were to add it all up, probably be like 5,000 or so, maybe less in this group that have over 1 million, which, hey man, that's actually pretty good. And if you go into Rolimons, for example, and go like, yeah, like Void Star, and you have like, your only item is Void Star. I'm trying to find a good example. Like, he'll eventually get a rank, but it needs to update. But he'd probably be in the top 10K, and he'd probably be pretty high up there. So, going back to my main point, if you have over 1 million, great job. Not too many people make it here. So, the next thing I would say, you need some serious motivation. I mean, this section is kind of hard to grind for. Man, it was a long time ago when I had 1 mil. When I first hit it, it was probably like December 2020. That's nuts. Yeah, but it was a long time ago, you guys. Yeah, I would just say keep going. Just keep grinding. Here's some random tips in no specific order. Now, one thing, the first thing actually, is try to talk to people or DM or talk to them. You know, if you're trying to trade with someone, try to figure out their Discord tag, add them up, talk to them. This will help you negotiate deals instead of just sending out a trade and hoping that they'll accept. Because usually when it comes to bigger items like Dominus Mesor, if you send trades to a bunch of these owners, they're probably not going to accept or even counter. And if they do counter, it's going to be for crazy. Like this guy, Gale, he's a cool guy. If you send him a trade, you're not going to get it. Just don't bother. He'll just keep it outbound. Instead, you can message him on Discord and ask him, hey man, how much are you taking on Mesor? And kind of go from there. Instead of just sending him a trade and praying, oh, please accept my trade, because that's not really how it works up here once you have over 1 million. I'm sorry, it just doesn't work like that. Next thing, I would say shoot for bigger items. This is just to help maximize your profits. You're going to make much more profit if you trade for like Clockwork's headphones instead of like just sticking with your Valks and stuff like that, which you can still make a crap ton from sticking with Valks, don't get me wrong, but just like flipping Clockwork headphones has made me so much money. I did it a lot, and it's actually worked out great for me, because you can get some really lucky trades on this stuff. Just saying, like, some seriously good stuff. Next thing, try to have a variety of items, and this isn't just, like, have a bunch of bigs. I'm saying, like, have some smalls, have some big items, and try not to have duplicates, like my friend Calwina, or Calwina, whatever. I don't know how to pronounce his name well. He has like a lot of duplicates. Like, I mean, it isn't the worst to have duplicates of this stuff. He's actually done a great job at cleaning up his inventory, but he had like 2 or 3 clockwork headphones, and that is just horrible. You don't want to have that many duplicates. You want like a variety of items, so then it's easier to complete a trade. Next thing, try to make friends, make mutuals, connections. It's really good, and it feels like it's a must once you reach a certain point in trading. Because if you trade alone, it's not ideal. You're gonna need people. You're gonna need people to ask. You're gonna need friends. It's kind of like life, you guys. I'm sorry. Next thing, try touching rares. And I know a lot of people say don't touch rare items. I personally say touch rare items, but don't give too much. Go for like, I mean, Sparkle Time Valk's really cool, but I feel like people give too much for it sometimes. What did this guy get? Oh, we got it from Mud Potion. This guy's like a plugger. I'm just saying. He probably plugged this Void Star. Oh. Well, there's the answer to that. He plugged that. But, yeah, I was just checking the UAID there. Really random. But yeah, I would say try touching rares. There's not that many bad things that can happen. Unless you fail trade, which that's a completely another story. Try just trading for a rare. Enjoy it because it's kind of rare. You know, any item with a rare tag is essentially rare. And yeah, it's just special. I mean, like Sparkle Time Valk has a special meaning to me. Just because it's rare, I almost never get it, and it's really cool. So that goes for a lot of items. Yeah, just touch rares. Don't stick to demand only. And another thing, when searching for big items, I would try to offer bigger overpays rather than like a lower overpay with an overpowered item. Just because, like, for example, Void owners, you're more likely to get it for 150k overpay rather than 70k overpay with a really good item, because more people are likely to consider 150k rather than 70k with a good item. So yeah, I also did this with my Black Valk trade, which I will be posting a short showing what I gave for Black Valk, because my chart doesn't really tell you it. I mean, it says that I gave something, but it's incorrect. I gave better and bigger items. I'll showcase that all in a short coming out later. But that's really it. Thanks for watching this super duper long video. If you made it this far, pat yourself on the back. I don't think anyone made it this far. If you did make it this far, DM me on Discord. I would be happy to, I don't know, send you a cookie emoji. I don't know. It's 30 minutes almost, is it not? Yeah, it's like 27 minutes. It's a lot to take in. Feel free to ask me any questions. I'll leave my Discord server down below. You can just join it. DM me from there. Again, I will not be really accepting friend requests much on Discord. And yeah, that's really it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and enjoy your day. I'm out. Peace.